Good evening, everyone. System Chalk here with the 19th episode of Cultist Simulator, playing the bright young thing as David Ellison. We have completed our initiations. I will try to bring these people up to disciples as soon as I can, but at least in terms of bringing the named characters in, we've got a little bit of everything, so we can potentially try a few of these other expeditions. There's a few other things that I've been working on, so I'm actually, number one, I always wind up making these feel a lot more crowded than they should be. So I want to try and get whatever lore that I can. My excuses for not going on expeditions aren't quite the same as they used to be. Looking at... sorry, I'm just trying to think. We need to get rid of the affliction, and yeah, I was debating on notoriety. I think I'm going to wait till the notoriety clears out before we consider an expedition, but I may change my opinion on that. What I do want to do, though, well, I did want to try actually, I can test it. So an unmerciful mantra on its own should not be enough to bring someone up to a disciple, but we can, as long as we have another two lantern. We can. So that means that erudition and restlessness winds up being very, very valuable to me right now. I'm not following up with the unmerciful mantra because we actually need to use that in Dr. Adib's commission. That's the only reason I'm not doing that right now. Excuse me. But what I might do is I might start talking to the percussigant so that I can... Actually, sorry, I'll start by talking with Madame Bichet, but I might start talking with the percussigant so that I can start using my... using the secret histories to get some expeditions. I've received the currency of the secret world, and my patron has let tantalizing information slip. What do I want to do with talk? I think we leave talk open for now. Not everything from the mantis can speak, but everything can understand mortal speech, even once it's past the white door. Oh, now exploration. It's no good in emptying out the exploration verb unless I'm actually going to use it. So, little wars, great intrigues, cryptic priesthoods, mystic crimes. All past now, but what traces did they leave? Okay, I may have enough for Forgotten Chronicles, but let's add them just in case. Last night, Gearby was talkative. He spoke in his siege engine voice of the histories he'd overheard in the waking world. I listened until the stories tailed off again into weeping. Alright, so we need to heal up. This is kind of the last chance I had, so good timing there. And my recent work has drawn some attention. Something should sell, so I did get a little extra money out of that, which is nice. Extra glimmering, which, not as important as it used to be. I'm not really sure where I want to put the contentment, but there we've got it. And I got a fascination for my trouble as well. Now, the fascination shouldn't be a problem. We'll keep it in mind, but I'm going to leave it aside, and we're going to get to work on the commission. This is the reason why I left the unmerciful mantra out. So we'll bring in the two reason. And once the minute passes, then we'll be able to go back and use it for the inductions. Although it did occur to me, we'll talk about the restlessness for a bit. The reason I want to do that is I want to use this for the induction. Okay, Season of Despair, just as well that we didn't get hit by the restlessness there. I've increased my last mastery of the lore of the wood, which we call by its aspect moth. And here, let me just double check that we have what we need. So this still only requires intuition, and we do have a glimmering that will last long enough. So when the breath is black at the glass, when the mist tautens the skin, when the woods walk in winter, we hear these words. Some days are better than others. Sometimes the sky is nothing like a filthy sheet. Sometimes the river runs clear. Nothing. My words cease like sand in a glass. Nope. I didn't really think that through, but this place merits closer investigation. So that's Orthos Wood. I'll read the descriptions for the locations as I go to them. The sick room grows close and stale. Time to get up. And once again, we go through the stag door. There's not really a whole lot for me to do with Dream otherwise right now. So, stag door is the Adept's Gate. To pass it is to be initiated into the first true mystery of the House of the Sun. The head Gearby weeps to see me enter where it cannot, but it must let me pass. The scarred valves of the door grind open. Okay, so we can turn that in with Dr. Redeem whenever I'd like. Now, probably the time has come for me to clear out the last of the staleness. I'm gonna try and be a little sneaky and preserve this erudition lesson learned, because if I'm able to use both the restlessness and the lesson learned in terms of upgrading followers, that's going to be really helpful for bringing in high level heart, bringing in high level moth. Okay, so all the notoriety's gone. Basically, any excuses for leaving a sign, or any excuses for, oh, just in time. So any excuses for not going on expeditions pretty much go away as soon as the Season of Suspicion is done. Nothing. My words cease like sand in a glass. Okay, so let's start by turning in with Dr. Redeem. I have what the doctor requested. My recent work has attracted a couple of callers. With luck, something will sell. So I have a little while to wait while the mystique clears out, but... Now, one of the big things here is that the staleness is gone, so I can actually go and do a reputation painting right away. Alright, he enters Garrett. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to use the percussivant in the Explorer room, just because I'm running out of places to hide it. That's a little inconvenient for me, but I dreamt of the mantis behind the white door, of the great space above the orchard, the space that overlooks the bounds, the space where the vagabond once painted her river. Painted ships passed upon the painted river. I met the painted eyes of a painted captain. She saluted, and the motion was like the layered movement of clouds. The sail of the ship was amber, and the captain's eyes the green of new barley, and the river aquamarine. Now that I'm awake, I see those colors still. So we keep going through this stag door. Basically the plan here was use the restlessness for bringing someone in as a disciple, use the erudition to bring the second person in as a disciple, and then we kind of play it after that. Probably I just wind up talking with the percussivant, if I'm completely honest. Now what I might try and do... Oh yeah, we're still turning in with Dr. Redeem, so that's fine. Place behind desire. I've received the currency of the secret world, and my patron has let tantalizing information slip. So I believe that was the Silver Spintra that did it. Okay, so I'm going to focus on the moth followers first. So Sylvia has detailed knowledge of roof ridges, of the river at low tide, of Irish whiskey, and of conjuring tricks. My follower will kneel as novice and rise as an initiate. I will administer the necessary oaths myself. Oh, what am I doing? And this is a reputation painting, so we will pay for the paints. If I need to get rid of the fascination, I'll use the fleeting reminiscence, but I don't want to grab that for no reason. Oh. And we have another challenge. Oh, I was not paying attention. Okay, well, in this case, the fascination actually helps. I'll use the, or hang on. I can't remember if this thing dies or not. I'll use the more recent one just in case, though. Competent work. There's nothing to be ashamed of here. Okay, so we earned another staleness off of that. So I suppose the question is, will the erudition... Yes, the erudition will last long enough. Unfortunately, I don't have another commission to do. I should have talked with Madame Bichet before I did that. He navigates. Now you are the map. He illuminates. You were the darkness. He is not compassionate. You will not show compassion. Our compass is knowledge, and our course is glory. Sylvia's favorite tactic is to smile and close her eye. It is remarkable how often her interlocutor will blurt out exactly what they are thinking. So we take the Mirror of Glory... Or, sorry, before we do that, let's talk to Madame Bichet. She's seeking pieces for the notorious Carisham Review. And, right, we left the work slot open so that... Well, originally it was for other reasons, but now we're actually able to do the passion paintings. So... I guess in this case I will preserve the... Well, actually, technically, Lantern would be good, so we will bring Slee in. And a Grail Commission. Okay, so let's bring in, again, another Moth follower, so in this case, Yzabeth seems to make as much sense as anything. Yzabeth sleeps in fits and starts. She rises at dusk to do the things that Yzabeth does. I feel that with 4 locations and 3 Forgotten Chronicles, we're probably good. There's a great chamber in the manses through which a painted river flows. The vagabond, it is claimed, painted it from memory in the years before she left the house. Certainly, there are histories concealed in its design. I traced them with my hand last night. There were fragments of aquamarine paint beneath my nails, flecks of gold leaf when I was done. All right. So, pretty standard loop as far as the dream slot is concerned for the foreseeable future. We are going to need to wait for the mystique to go away before we mess around too much with the expeditions. Although again, getting a chance to build people up is not it's not catastrophic for me. I have a little bit less of a reason to do that once the upgrades are finished. But the study verb still is useful to me because I can generate erudition through that. Erudition turns into erudition lessons learned, and then that will allow me to turn people into disciples. So even then, it's kind of hard to say that this is not it's kind of hard to say that this is a terrible outcome. Although again, it would be nice to make a little bit more progress. One thing that's also not going to help me clear things out anytime soon is the amount of painting that I'm doing and the number of actions that are generating mystique. But there's a few things that I can do to fix that. So we are going to get hit by this fascination, it looks like. I I've begun to notice colors in the world for which I have no name. Oh, sorry. This is a result of the... This is not actually the season of visions. This is the side effect of using fascination. So something I might want to get rid of using the fleeting reminiscence, but we'll figure that out at the time. I'm seeing things I shouldn't. I know this is dangerous, but it's difficult not to long for it. And my recent work has attracted a couple of callers. With luck, something will sell. Okay, so that's potentially 3 fascination on the board. Yep, so we definitely want to get rid of at least one of these things. And now we have the Moldy Warp admonitions. Moldy Warp keeps her crowns in the moss and her feet in the dirt, and the trees lock jaw tight. Moldy Warp has these warnings for you. So Moth and Secret Histories are the ones that are basically my highest level lore. Now if I want, I do have the option of upgrading the Wood Whisper again. There's not a really strong argument for doing so, but I'm going to anyway. Mostly just so I can kind of clear it out. I'll do the same with the Sexton's Secret. But after that, the plan is I'll use the study verb to get some erudition. The painted river runs from a great chamber near the White Door, far through the manses, to its far edge where it enters a painted delta of far cloud. I voyaged half its length last night with a stern-faced captain beneath a rust-red sail. As the clouds rose before us, the sailors raised a yearning shanty and close-hauled the sails to best use the painted wind. And all the while, the captain and I discoursed on the secrets of the House of the Sun. So he navigates, now you are... He navigates, now you are the map. He illuminates, you were the darkness. He is not compassionate, you will not show compassion. Our compass is knowledge, and our course is glory. Elizabeth was just here, just a moment ago. Just here, almost certainly. So I think at this point, probably we want to... Well, number one, I want to start organizing my followers. But number two, it's probably not a bad time for me to start bringing in disciples... I could do both Lantern as well as Heart. I think I'm going to bring in at least one higher level Heart follower, and then I will... Actually, maybe 2. Or maybe I'll just move up one of the Knock. But it's mostly just because I have... So Lantern's not that exciting to improve, simply because I can just use the Unmerciful Mantra. Whereas the other characters need a little supplement, so... Okay, so first things first, let's clear out the most recent fascination with the Fleeting Reminiscence. Then we will bring someone in with the Mirror of Glory. So yes, we will bring Dorothy up. Dorothy is an enthusiastic sort, and I have turned her enthusiasm to our advantage. And then what do I want to do work-wise, I suppose, is the question. Painting's not a bad idea, although, again, it does preserve the mystique, so... how do I feel about that? Well, I could do a Grail Commission instead and let the mystique slowly die out. Yeah, let's do that instead. This may be useful for a commission. Okay, so I want to see if there's something I can do about this fascination here. By golly, I think I can lick it. So I have enough time to do this, but if you... This might be... If you're learning Cultist Simulator and you like watching these videos for learning it, try and think about how... So this... I am going to pause just to say this. this is one of these situations where potentially you can lose the game involuntarily. This would actually be the most frequent way that I'd lose the game before they changed how fascination works and fleeting reminiscences can get rid of them. So there's a couple of tricks that I can do here to make sure that essentially I can say with confidence that I will be able to get rid of these 2 fascination within 30 seconds. But or not, I must be careful of the company I keep. So again, just preserving the percussivant here, nothing too fancy. And we work with the glimmering again. This is a puzzle with missing pieces. I might find those pieces in the odd corners of scholarship. Okay, so the air is curdled now. I'm home again in this lumpen flesh. Better, perhaps. And he navigates, now you are the map. He illuminates, you were the darkness. He is not compassionate, you will not show compassion. Our compass is knowledge, and our course is glory. Dorothy's enthusiasm has become obsession. She will not cease, and how she loves to dance. Okay, so I have everything that I need to get rid of the fascination before 11 seconds. So this first one is pretty obvious. You just dream with the fleeting reminiscence, the doors of vision swing wide, a little darkness will mellow my light. Even dread has its uses. Now we've got the manuscript as well. So I'll collect all of that. And I'm actually going to be... yes, we can afford to do this. But what do I do about this other fascination? I might have found somewhere unusual. I should also figure out what I'm doing with the work slot. I suppose that depends on how things turn out with Dr. Redeem. Here's what he needs. Okay, secret histories. So as you might have guessed, the talk verb is what I need to get rid of this other fascination. But there is one possibility that... so one of the things I always find difficult... I mean, so sometimes it's very tiresome when people are like, ooh, how would you do it? But I'm just kind of aware of the fact that there are some people who like to, like to learn about the game. And it's, to me at least, nice to sort of wrestle with a puzzle, because I've tended to find that it's very easy for me to watch people who know something and have the impression that I understand things a lot better than I actually do. And so being able to try and solve something on my own, but also having the knowledge that that it's going to be worked through is one of the ways that, at least when it comes to difficult things, admittedly, Cultist Simulator, in my opinion, is not that difficult to learn or to understand. But one of the things that annoys me sometimes is when it's like, it's an exercise left to the reader, and you're like, well, I really don't know, and now I'm kind of mad that I don't have the option of learning any of this. The other thing that actually kind of bugs me is they go for a solution, but I feel like there is an alternative that was a viable one, and it turns out that it's not, but I didn't have the material to, I didn't have the ability to sort of correct it for myself. So I'll show you one of the ones that doesn't actually work. You might say, okay, well, we'll do the trick that we normally do with bringing in a follower. Oops, sorry. Right, we'll bring a follower into the cult. Aha, we can't bring them up to a disciple. Now, one thing you might say, it's like, okay, well, yeah, that's fine, but you have left the hanger on, so that's gonna leave you the possibility. And absolutely, that's a completely fair way of doing it. But there's actually a way that I don't have to put my goal of bringing people up to a higher level on hold. And this is the one I was specifically thinking of. The one thing I did want to do, though, was just show, because I've moved everyone up to a believer, I don't actually have the option of doing the normal kind of induction that I would. So normally I would have to give up 60 seconds to bring in one of these hangers on. But as it happens, I do want to have at least one more lantern follower brought up. So in this case, we promote a believer by invoking Lantern, and the reason why that works is that Cat Caro already has 2 Lantern on her own, so it's actually easier to upgrade the followers who are of the same aspect as your cult. A bright-eyed, watchful woman who recalls her dreams perfectly. My follower will kneel as a novice and rise as an initiate. I will administer the necessary oaths myself. And then we can get the percussivant doing its exploration dance and a substantial commission on the histories. Pretty straightforward for me to do here. This may be useful in a commission. This, incidentally, is why I also talked with Dr. Redeem rather than Madame Bichet, because if I had talked with Madame Bichet, I would have been able to turn in the commission, but I wouldn't have been able to get the secret histories until after the induction. So this was a nice little way where I could sort of achieve all of my goals. This, incidentally, is one of the things that I do kind of like about... there's two... To me, there's kind of two halves that I can divide Cultist Simulator into. The first was the experience of learning the game for the first time. And in fact, because I haven't played that much of Exile, Exile really felt like this. All of the DLC do, but Exile in particular, I really felt like I couldn't take anything for granted, and so I was learning entirely new things. And of course, this is something I'm really going to be looking forward to for Book of Hours as well. But the other thing that that I like is, aside from, you know, everything is new and trying to be able to figure those things out, I do like getting to that level of Cultist Simulator where I feel that I understand the game well enough that I'm not just able to to handle an immediate threat to me. So again, fascination used to be a big problem for me, and here I was able to overcome it. But I particularly liked hitting that phase where it's not just that I overcame it, but I was able to overcome it and I didn't feel like I was putting any of my goals on hold. So I did say that I wanted to try and level up some Lantern followers after I'd gotten the... I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't, I should be careful. So if I didn't say that, I apologize. I certainly was thinking it. But essentially what I wanted to do was have another Lantern follower, because we are going to need to find hidden locations. This, for instance, is going to open up the Forgotten Mithraeum for us. So basically being able to get little things like this helped me out in terms of being able to, well, again, just achieve my goals a little bit quicker and not feeling like I need to put things on hold to be able to try kind of develop a super cult or something like that. So I think my priorities are probably going to be Forgotten Mithraeum first. I think I only have one higher level Moth follower, so... Oh wait, no, Sylvia and Yzabeth, so we could also go after the Congregation of St. Felix of Shurin. But I should also work on a Forge follower when I have some extra Lantern to kick around. Okay, another overlooked place. And we're not really going to do anything with Hulking Fellow. Again, it's possible to betray them and lock them up in the cupboard, but that's not something that helps me with the current investigation. Okay, so about 3 minutes. Plus, however, we're going to turn in a commission with Madame Bichet and Dr. Redeem, so I suppose we had another 2 minutes on top of that. He navigates, now you are the map. He illuminates, you are the darkness. He is not compassionate, you will not show compassion. Our compass is knowledge, and our course is glory. She still performs in theaters sometimes. Cat Caro, the posters say, finds the path. Cat Caro knows the way. So we don't have anything for our erudition. So in this case, I'm sort of stuck to bringing up Lantern followers, but there are worse fates. What I am going to do, though, is turn in the commissions. And actually, I don't think it's 2 minutes. I think it's going to be... it's going to be 3 minutes. Sorry. It would have been 1 minute based on what I thought before. It's actually just going to be the time of the extra mystique plus 10 seconds. Trying to think what I can do with the work slot. I don't want to do more paintings because that's going to really aggressively increase the mystique. I received the currency of the secret world, and my patron has let tantalizing information slip. I have what the doctor requested. Okay, well that's actually a good one for me, because now we can use that to bring a heart follower up. I've increased my mastery of the lore of the wood, which we call by its aspect moth. So that's an ecdicist parable. We can move that up there. And I will move up this. No, I can't move up the sexton seek. Yes, I can, because I need erudition for that, and we're going to get that by turning in the secret histories with Adim. These are the words. These are the words which chill the air and drink the color of my skin. All right, I think we can leave it there. So we're moving up the winter lore. We are leaving the work slot open so we can clear out the last of the mystique. The last mystique that we'll be generating is coming from turning in the commission to Dr. Adim. We've got an old unhappy far off things, which will allow me to move Leo, Clovette. Hang on. Did I say? Why did I want? Oh, okay. Congregation of St. Felix of Shurin. We need moth for that, so we're good. No, I wanted a forge follower. So we've got Laidlaw, who is a believer. Ooh, we need 2 forge followers to be upgraded, actually. Okay. Right now I'm just sort of thinking of the places I want to go. So Cater and Hero, we're going to need forge. Actually, no, we can also use lantern for that, so we should be able to cover everyone. I'm all over the map on this stuff. Either way, we'll work it all out. But I will be able to use the old unhappy far off things to get someone else to move up. Once we clear out our reputation, we can go with a fair degree of certainty. I'd say 3, probably all of the locations, if I'm honest. And then at some point I'm going to have to also use the remaining secret histories fragments to find locations, but we have been using explore to prolong the life of the percussagant. I suppose I could use the work verb to try and resummon it, but there's always the risk that it tries to escape, so there is some risk. There is you want to be a little careful in terms of what you actually try to do there. In any case, thank you very much for watching. Again, if I don't even remember if I said this off the top, but I am using a new streaming setup, something that, where all my settings had adjusted. If you've commented on the quality of the broadcast and it hasn't changed in the last couple of videos, that's just because I'm doing them in one big batch right now. But tomorrow should be the last episode, and that'll be the last time that I'm bringing this up. As always, you can talk about stuff, but this is where I'm really particularly looking for any kinds of problems with the broadcast. So if there's anything that could be improved, game to voice volume, if something's not working for the visuals, just let me know, and I'll try and work on those. Sorry. Thank you for watching. Have a good night, and take care until the next one.